Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. Kidnapping is the name of the game in the latest Young and Restless preview. Though truth be told, only one child is actually in danger. At least as far as we know. Little Dominic was taken by Mariah, who had gone completely off the rails, while Victor planned to use Lily and the twins to force Kane's hand. Also teased in the promo, will Sienna and Noah return to La La Land? The Newmans are breathing a little easier with Matt Clark behind bars, but have we really seen the last of him? And in the wake of everything that went down, the ripple effects continue to impact Sharon's family. In fact, it's beginning to look as if when Sienna heads back to California, Noah might join her coming up. Claire can't help wondering exactly what Sienna's intentions, both in general and toward Noah, specifically, are. Wouldn't everybody be better off if they just washed their hands of all things Matt-related and moved on? Are Lily and the twins in danger? To force Kane to cut a deal and save Newman Enterprises, Victor and Adam conspired to make Kane believe something had happened to Lily and the twins. It was a risky move, and when Nikki was made aware of the plan, she believed the only way it would work was to involve Lily. Next week, it appears the mustache's plan works, as Kane confronts Adam and demands answers about the whereabouts of his family. Victor didn't really take them hostage, did he? Is this the end for Mariah? Devon and Abby were sent into a panic and a parent's worst nightmare when little Dom went missing. Mariah, under the influence of Ian Spector, kidnapped the boy and managed to convince him they were playing a massive game of hide and seek with his parents. However, she left a crucial piece of evidence at the scene of the crime, her scarf, which Tessa identified. Coming up, Mariah's loved ones try to reconcile with her latest abhorrent move, with Tessa telling Sharon that something has changed with Mariah. Mariah, meanwhile, continues to be influenced by Ian's ghost, and it appears little Dom might be growing tired of playing the game. Can Mariah break the spell Ian has over her and reclaim herself in the process? Be sure to read the Young and Restless spoilers to find out what has Nikki concerned, and who Holden turns to for help. Mariah Copeland has always believed she could outrun the shadows of her past. Geno City once felt like proof that reinvention was possible, that even the most fractured beginnings could be reshaped into something steady and bright. But the delicate architecture of the life she built begins to tremble as pressure closes in from every direction, and the woman who prided herself on emotional control finds herself slipping into a spiral that no one around her fully understands until it is too late. The cracks first appear in small, almost invisible ways. Mariah's patience thins. Her once sharp instincts turn erratic. Sleepless nights stretch into restless mornings where the world feels slightly out of focus. Responsibilities that once grounded her now feel like weights dragging her underwater. At Crimson Lights, her hands shake as she pours coffee. At home, silence presses in so heavily that even familiar rooms feel foreign. The sensation is not just stress. It is the terrifying awareness that her thoughts are no longer lining up neatly, that her emotions surge without warning. Tessa notices. She watches the subtle changes accumulate like storm clouds gathering on the horizon. Maria becomes defensive over nothing, distant over everything. Moments of warmth are replaced by sudden withdrawal. The rhythm of their life together stutters. Tessa tries to reach her, but every attempt feels like knocking on a door that no longer opens from the inside. Mariah insists she is fine, yet her eyes betray a storm she cannot articulate. The catalyst arrives quietly, disguised as another Geno City power play. Victor Newman, ever the architect of chaos disguised as strategy, sets a plan in motion that ripples outward. His motives are layered as always. Protecting the Newman legacy requires sacrifices, and in Victor's worldview, collateral damage is simply the cost of doing business. This time, the fallout lands dangerously close to Mariah. A corporate maneuver involving Chancellor Winters and Newman Enterprises triggers a chain reaction. Jobs are threatened, alliances fracture, old rivalries ignite with new venom. Mariah, caught in the crossfire through her connections and loyalties, feels the ground shift beneath her. The stability she clung to begins to dissolve. Each headline, each whispered rumor, feeds her growing paranoia that everything she loves is vulnerable. Victor's involvement is initially invisible, hidden behind shell decisions and proxy players. But Kane Ashby, recently returned and determined to carve out his own influence, starts tracing the threads. Kane prides himself on reading people, on anticipating moves before they happen. Yet the deeper he digs, the more he realizes Victor is operating on a level even he didn't expect. Victor is not just making a business play. He is orchestrating a psychological one. He understands that destabilizing key emotional anchors in Geno City can shift loyalties faster than any boardroom victory. Mariah, with her web of connections to Sharon, Tessa, and the extended Newman orbit, becomes an unintentional pressure point. Victor does not target her directly. He simply removes the safety nets around her and watches gravity do the rest. As Mariah's world tightens, her grip loosens. Her anxiety mutates into something sharper. She begins seeing threats everywhere. Casual conversations feel loaded with hidden meanings. Friends' reassurances sound rehearsed. She starts revisiting old fears she thought she buried years ago, fears of abandonment, of losing control, of becoming someone she does not recognize. Each day becomes a battle between the woman she knows she is and the chaos clawing its way to the surface. Sharon senses the change with a mother's intuition sharpened by her own history with mental health struggles. Watching Mariah unravel feels like staring into a mirror of her past. The fear is not abstract, it is visceral. Sharon tries to intervene gently, offering support without suffocation. But Mariah resists. To accept help would mean admitting the loss of control she is desperately trying to deny. Meanwhile, Kane confronts Victor. The meeting is meant to be strategic, a negotiation between two men accustomed to power games. Kane expects resistance, maybe even a threat. What he does not expect is Victor's calm certainty. Victor reveals just enough of his plan to unsettle Kane, hinting that the emotional instability rippling through Geno City is not an accident but an inevitable byproduct of necessary evolution. In Victor's eyes, cities, companies, and families either adapt or collapse. Sentimentality is a liability. Kane is shaken not by the ruthlessness alone, but by the precision. Victor has calculated the human cost and accepted it without hesitation. For the first time since his return, Kane realizes he is not playing the same game he thought he was. He is several moves behind, reacting to a board Victor redesigned before the first piece was touched. As Victor's strategy unfolds, its impact accelerates Mariah's descent. A professional setback lands at the worst possible moment. A project she poured herself into collapses due to corporate reshuffling tied back to Victor's maneuvering. The loss feels personal, like confirmation of every fear whispering in her head. She begins isolating herself, convinced that proximity to her only brings harm to the people she loves. Tessa refuses to accept that narrative. She fights to stay close, but Mariah pushes her away with a desperation that borders on panic. The apartment becomes a battlefield of unspoken tension. Every attempt at comfort is interpreted as pity. Every expression of concern feels like judgment. Mariah's mind twists love into evidence of impending abandonment. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our Young and Restless official news channel and stay with us.